we've dragged you into the kitchen because you have some really good recipes up your sleeve.
Well, I try for sure. I've kind of evolved from vegan to whole food plant-based, as we discussed, and now I cook without oil.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's a big one. That's a big transition for a lot of people, and a real head shaker too, a real head scratcher, because people think that you can't.
Exactly.
And
now, why do you?
Well,
just to be clear.
Oil damages the endothelium, which are the endothelial cells that line all of our arteries, and it also impairs the immune system. So for those reasons, we do not use oil. Excellent. And you know, once you switch away from it, it becomes really second nature to cook this way. And also, if by chance you're out and about and you have a vegan meal, you can really taste the oil.
I can imagine.
And it kind of, you wake up with a really bad taste in your mouth the next morning. So it's surprising how it suddenly turns, like many things as you transition to this lifestyle, start to become not so appealing and actually quite gross after a while.
All right, so look at all this goodness you've got here.
So we're going to make brunch. This
is
brunch. And I just wanted to show people that there's no deprivation. We can have a beautiful brunch. You can invite your non-vegan friends over and they will not even know that they're missing out on dairy and eggs and oil. And so I'm going to start with oven roasted potatoes.
Yummers.
And potatoes get a really bad rap, as you probably know, and we really eat a lot of potatoes. And I think the downfall that people get caught up in is what you put on the potatoes.
That's the whole thing.
The butter, the sour cream, all of these kind of things. But potatoes on themselves are fabulous. Great starch, really super filling, high in vitamin C. Great things. Low calories.
Absolutely.
Good Lord, you can eat pounds of them. Okay, so I do like to choose vegetables that have the most color, and potatoes in particular. I like red potatoes just because color kind of equals more antioxidants, more nutrients.
And I tell that to my clients as well. When you're grocery shopping, make sure you're packing that cart with color.
Many colors.
Absolutely.
Eat the rainbow.
Okay.
So we're just going to chop up these potatoes into kind of bite-sized pieces, and depending on the size of potato, I generally do 1 to 3 per person.
Okay.
And because they're great for snacking later and what have you. So cut these potatoes up, and I've got them all cubed up, and then we're just going to parboil them for 7 minutes. So we're just going to pour them into some hot water, and we'll just put them in there, and we'll just give those. I'm parboiling these for 7 minutes, and that just to kind of speeds up the cooking process, and it also takes a little bit of the starches out so that your potatoes are fluffier. Okay, and so we're just going to drain these. Just put that over there for now. And I like to give them a little toss because it makes the edges kind of fluffy, and so once they're drained, give them a little toss, and then we're going to put them in the bowl, and we'll just quickly spice these. This is kind of a Mexican-y hot spice, but you could go with a more savory oregano or basil or whatever you choose. But I just,
kind of
you can really modify this to anything you want. You just want to make sure that they're fully coated.
Perfect. And it's so fragrant. It smells like Indian cooking about now.
It's so many great spices. It's just fabulous. And then your company walks through the front door and they're like, oh my God, it smells so good. How could this possibly be healthy? But it is. So we're just going to put these on a cookie sheet that's covered with parchment paper, and that way they will not stick.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people use oil because they feel that they will stick. And then we can just spread them around. And again, if you're doing for a big crowd, you'll have to use maybe 3 sheets because you do want to have them well spaced so that you get good air circulation around, so that they're all going to be kind of nice and crispy. Because if they're smushed up together too much, they won't get that nice crisp. So.
This is going to be good.
Oh yeah. So we'll put this in the oven. We preheated this to 400 degrees. And we'll just put them in there, and 20 minutes usually does it. So we're going to do a tofu scramble.
One of my favorites.
So fabulous. And the thing I really like about tofu scramble is that you can shove as many veggies in there as possible. And I think that's so important to get as many veggies in your day as possible. And you know, we kind of generally don't think about vegetables as a breakfast item, and this really takes it there for people. And you know, many places in the world start their day with vegetables, and we should really follow suit.
We really should.
So,
okay, so the onions.
This is cooking onions without oil, and
And that's going to get a lot of people asking.
Yeah,
Yes, how do you do that?
This is a good question
Yes.
too. So I generally like to heat the pan, and then I just like them to kind of sizzle for a minute, just to get some kind of deep flavor. And then I just add water.
Great.
And then you listen to that sizzle. If it was something maybe more simple, like a soup, I might think about using broth, but generally speaking, I do use water.
Okay.
I tell people it's like every bite you take either makes health or breaks health.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
And so what are you going to choose to put in your body? Okay, so I'm going to add the garlic in now. And
what is that, about two?
it's
three
2 cloves.
Okay.
It's 2 cloves, 2 nice sized cloves, depending on the size of the clove, I think 2 or 3. And so we'll let that get going a little bit more. You smell that garlic, and then we're going to add the peppers in. And then you start
Beautiful
seeing
color.
all the different colors. So we're just going to add a handful of cherry tomatoes, and I just like to cut these in half, just because they're easier to get on your fork later on. And they can be a bit of a devil sometimes. You can explode in your mouth. if you're
Great.
really
And
warm.
that's more color,
More color.
antioxidants,
Yeah.
the lycopene from the reds.
Exactly.
All those life-giving
Because
properties.
each and every one has their own special magical ingredients.
Exactly.
So you want to have as many as possible.
Right. And you know what's interesting with the tomato? A lot of people will squeeze out the seed, that little jelly part there,
Right.
not realizing that it's chock full of
Yeah.
fabulous nutrition.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do not throw these things
No,
away.
I try and eat the seeds of almost everything because when you think about it, a seed is packed with everything in
Power.
there, the power to grow a whole
Exactly.
plant. Well, you want that power in you. I'll just
just
walk
take that
over
on
and
over.
do that, and we'll just add that in. And again, you can see that we've got a lot of vegetables going here.
A lot going on.
So you're going to get your daily dose today. You see that's a lot of bulk now. We're just turn the heat back up, just a tiny bit more water. And then we're going to add in some spinach. And I always say you can never add too much spinach because it
can't.
cooks down
Exactly.
to nothing.
Yeah, our dark leafy greens.
Don't be afraid. Now, I did buy organic spinach because spinach, unfortunately, is on the one of the lists for having a lot of pesticides and stuff. So I don't buy everything organic, but the ones that really matter, I try to. It's more important to concentrate on eliminating animal products than it is to go organic. Interesting in Eating You Alive, Brooke Goldner, who was the woman who had lupus, she was in medical school when she reversed her lupus. And she did it all on an incredible budget because she was a very poor student. She never bought one thing that was organic. So, you know, I think
an
people
excellent
really get
story.
caught up in the organic. And obviously there are some things, strawberries, spinach, that I definitely would like and always do buy organic. But other things, not so much. So we're going to take this now from a big pot of vegetables into our tofu scramble, which
Love it.
kind of emulates the scrambled egg aspect of a brunch and is far more delicious. Okay.
Okay, so now comes the fun part.
Yeah, we're going to crumble this tofu. Now this is organic, extra firm tofu, and of course it's a soy product.
Yes.
And as you know, so many people are confused about soy.
Exactly. Let's talk about
Let's talk about soy. So soy has been present in Asian kitchens for centuries. Asian women have the lowest rates of breast cancer in the world, at least pre-Second World War. Of course, they are starting to transition to an American diet, and their breast cancer rates are starting to go up as well.
Yes.
So, it's firmly believed, and there are many studies that show that soy is actually very protective when it comes to hormonal cancers, breast cancer, prostate cancer, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine has a lot of that
Dean Ornish
research.
did a great research paper on prostate cancer. So as it was prepared in Asian kitchens, so soy, miso, soy milks, things like that, those are great. I don't think that isolated soy protein and soybean oil should not be used.
Those are the ones that
those
are
not
detrimental.
great.
Yes.
But traditional soy preparations are extremely healthy for you.
Crumbling in
Yeah,
it,
we're
not chopping
crumbling
it, just
up,
crumbling it
and
in
we
there.
want kind of irregular shapes.
Right.
Because we want it to kind of look, you know,
Like a scrambled egg.
Like a
Yeah.
natural egg. Okay, so we're going to add in nutritional yeast, which is one of our magic, one of our magic ingredients in this world.
Yes.
And so I like to add in 2 tablespoons. And of course, if you love this flavor, you can add more.
Add some more.
It gives it that really great cheesy depth of flavor.
Yes.
It's such a nice.
It's a magic
Oh my
ingredient.
goodness! You just use it in everything, on
Absolutely.
popcorn, and
gotta be
my
on popcorn.
goodness! Now, what's going to take this is turmeric. So we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of turmeric and a sprinkle of paprika. And you know, the great thing about adding all these spices is spices unto themselves are full of antioxidants as well.
Very true.
We're going to make a flax egg, and you can use this in all kinds of things, making cakes and muffins, many, many things.
Perfect.
Flax, great source of omega-3 fatty acids, so that is so important. And we're going to use, what we would have used was 2 eggs.
Okay,
So 2 eggs.
tablespoons?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons. So a flax egg is 1 tablespoon of ground flax to 3 tablespoons of water. That is the equivalent to 1 egg. 6. Now this doesn't look like anything right now,
But it will.
but it will. We're going to put it aside while we put the rest of our ingredients together, and then we'll come back to this, and you'll see that it gets gooey and
gets
slimy,
gooey.
just like an egg. A lot of people don't know that white sugar is actually not vegan. Some of it is actually purified with animal bones. So I like to use palm sugar. Not only that, it's lower glycemic index, and it's delicious. It's got this amazing caramel flavor.
It does. It's got a deep kind of coffee-ish almost.
It's so good.
Flavor
I
to it.
love it. I love it. And this is really great Haitian vanilla.
Oh my.
A friend of ours, well, actually was in Haiti and brought it home for us, and it is so good.
Is that much different?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just the exoticness of it, but we love it. We love it. So, okay, so we're putting in some vanilla, and then we're going to put in 2 cups of almond milk.
You know what I'm noticing in the grocery store these days? There's more of the almond milk, the cashew milk, than there is of the soy milk.
Yeah.
We're
But you
seeing
know,
that
even
in all the stores.
all the non-dairy milks, they're just, and you know, sometimes it's hard to even get them because they're flying off the shelf so fast.
It's
and
true.
It's like they need to understand, they need to stock more because
It's true.
more people are
really
really,
catching on.
really embracing it, which is fabulous.
It
because
is fabulous.
for the environment, for the animals, for us, you know, the casein in cow's milk is, you know, milk is really species specific. Not your mom, not your milk.
Exactly. I like that.
So now we're going to go back to these lovely
And
flax.
look how it's thickened
I'm
up.
just going to show how gooey and
lovely.
slimy. So it's just like an egg. So we use it as a binder. This is our binder. So we're going to add that into our wet ingredients as well.
And it's got all the nutrition attached
Oh my
to it.
goodness.
That's the whole
The
thing.
omega-3s, the lignans, which they're finding are really great for cancer. There's so many benefits. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of this. Now, in the original recipe, and this is actually my great-grandmother's recipe that I've veganized, she had 3 tablespoons of oil, actually lard. So we've changed that to applesauce.
We are cooking, and we've got a choir singing in the next room. How glorious is it to cook while
It's obviously a sign.
we're being serenaded? It's
That's
wonderful.
right, yeah. So we've got our wet ingredients, and we're ready to add our dry ingredients.
Okay.
So we're just going to add that in there. And
They're sounding pretty good, that
they
choir.
are. It's lovely. We're very lucky. We don't want it super smooth, but we don't want clumps of dry flour either. You can use whole wheat flour as well if you want.
Yeah, or maybe a buckwheat or
all
any of those
kinds
kind
of flours
flours.
out there. Of course, if you use coconut flour, you do have to add more liquid in because it is extremely dry. So this is my grill. It's seen better days.
This is a well-used grill.
It's a well-used
I love
grill.
it.
So I'd like to get new plates, but they still work. So, this is kind of really back to standard pancake making now. We've got a batter, and we'll just use it like regular pancake batter. So we'll just put it on the grill, kind of, you know, straighten it out with our spoon to get nice shape.
And it's got that nice healthy look with the little flecks of flax there. You just know this is going to be good for you.
So there's no dairy, there's no eggs, and there's no oil. So this is just a wonderful whole food. Now, the flour is obviously a little bit more processed than we would perhaps like, but generally speaking, this is an extremely healthy dish.
Yes, it is.
So you can have this and not feel any guilt, feel completely satisfied, have your special Sunday brunch with friends. I do think people think we live on celery sticks and lettuce, and we do eat salads, but not every day, not really that frequently. There's so many, I feel there's so many recipes, I don't have enough life left to live to make them all.
So little time.
Yeah, exactly. I need to eat more. We were just in LA in December, and there's 500 vegan restaurants there. And it was we really tried, but we couldn't get to them all. But
it's heaven.
I know, it was amazing. It was astounding.
These look amazing.
So you can see that these look like just normal, fluffy, wonderful pancakes.
And they are fluffy too.
Yes. Yeah. So again, maybe we're putting, perhaps a little bit more baking powder in them than maybe a regular recipe. I'm not even sure, but that's fine. That's fine.
They look beautiful.
They're
nice
great.
Golden color. They're not sticking. They're not oozy or anything.
I cook with my hands. I'm so sorry to say.
You just go right ahead.
Yeah. My kids were always like, "Why don't you burn yourself? What's why?" And I'm like, I don't know. Mom hands, I've heard it called. So.
And then the potatoes, the red, again, just adds that hit of color.
That's right.
This is a beautiful plate.
And then, of course, you can always add maple syrup if you really are so inclined, because that's a pretty healthy alternative as well. All right, so we're ready to have our brunch. So we've got, all kinds of amazing vegetables in here in different forms, and just nothing but goodness.
Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. I don't know where to start. No, you know what? I'm going to start with this. The tofu scramble. Oh, it is nice and fluffy. Look at that. Okay.
There you go. Everything you need.
One phrase came to mind. Hot diggity dog.
Oh,
I don't know why that came to mind.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, there you go.
So much
oh, you're very welcome.
for my dinner here.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're so happy to be here.
Oh, this is beautiful. It's healthy. There's no oil in this.
There's no oil, no dairy, no eggs.
And
nothing
it's
but goodness.
so delicious.
Well, thank you very much.